ability, ability, ability.
His swimming abilities let him cross the entire lake.
Abroad, abroad, abroad.
My brother wants to go abroad next year.
Absorb, absorb, absorb.
He used a sponge to absorb the water on the floor.
Abuse, abuse, abuse.
The mean man abused his dog when it barked too loudly.
Accomplish, accomplish, accomplish.
He accomplished his goal of running 10 miles.
Admire, admire, admire.
I admire my brother for his hard work.
Admission, admission, admission.
The admission ticket to the movie was $5.
Adopt, adopt, adopt.
The girl was adopted by the couple when she was 3.
Afford, afford, afford.
I've been saving my money so I can afford to buy a new bike.
Agriculture, agriculture, agriculture.
The farmer studied agriculture in college.
Aid, aid, aid.
The doctor aided the boy after his accident.
Aim, aim, aim.
My aim is to become a helicopter pilot.
Ancestor, ancestor, ancestor.
My ancestors came from Germany.
Anger, anger, anger.
It angers me when people are rude.
Angle, angle, angle.
The giraffe turned its head to see from another angle.
Anxiety, anxiety, anxiety.
When I have to climb to high places, I'm filled with anxiety.
Anxious, anxious, anxious.
She was anxious about not making her appointment on time.
Apparent, apparent, apparent.
Her happiness was apparent from the smile on her face.
Approve, approve, approve.
Her coworkers approved her new plan.
Approximate, approximate, approximate.
My approximate height is 2 meters.
Army, army, army.
The army protects all the people in the country.
Arrow, arrow, arrow.
The arrow flew through the air and hit the target.
Astronomy, astronomy, astronomy.
Harold loved watching the stars, so he decided to study astronomy.
Attach, attach, attach.
I attached the socks to the clothesline to dry.
Attempt, attempt, attempt.
I am attempting to learn English.
Authority, authority, authority.
The policeman has authority on the streets.
Awful, awful, awful.
Her performance last night was awful.
Bake, bake, bake.
My sister is a good cook. She bakes delicious cakes.
Barrier, barrier, barrier,
The Great Wall was a barrier between China and its enemies.
basis, basis, basis,
My grandfather gets his hearing checked on a yearly basis.
battle, battle, battle,
The battle lasted for many days.
bean, bean, bean,
There are many different kinds of beans to eat.
beg, beg, beg,
The man begged for some money.
bet, bet, bet,
How much will you bet that your horse will win?
beyond, beyond, beyond,
John's house is beyond that lake.
billion, billion, billion,
There are billions of stars in outer space.
biology, biology, biology,
We learned about the human heart in biology class.
blame, blame, blame,
My mom blamed me for something I didn't do.
blind, blind, blind,
The blind man didn't see the hole and almost fell in.
boot, boot, boot,
He wore boots so that his feet wouldn't get wet.
border, border, border,
The postcard had a pretty green border of pine needles.
boss, boss, boss,
My boss is a nice person.
bow, bow, bow,
He went hunting with a bow and arrow.
brave, brave, brave,
The brave firefighter saved the girl from the burning building.
bride, bride, bride,
The bride looked beautiful in her wedding dress.
brief, brief, brief,
The meeting this afternoon was very brief.
bring, bring, bring,
Oscar will bring in all the boxes.
broad, broad, broad,
The river is very long and broad.
bush, bush, bush,
My dad and I planted some small bushes around the house.
cage, cage, cage,
We put the parrots in their cage at night.
calculate, calculate, calculate,
I calculated how much money I would need to buy the car.
candle, candle, candle,
When the lights went out, we lit some candles.
capable, capable, capable,
The Olympic athlete is capable of lifting a lot of weight.
capital, capital, capital,
We will visit the capital to learn about our government.
carriage, carriage, carriage,
We took a carriage ride in the park.
cartoon, cartoon, cartoon,
Sometimes people draw cartoons for the newspaper.
carve, carve, carve,
My father usually carves the turkey for Thanksgiving.
castle, castle, Castle.
The castle was built many years ago.
Ceiling. Ceiling. Ceiling.
He painted the ceiling with a special roller.
Chamber. Chamber. Chamber.
The girl was tired. She went to her chamber for a nap.
Chase. Chase. Chase.
I was chased by an angry native.
Chat. Chat. Chat.
Even though they were far apart, the couple chatted every day.
Cheat. Cheat. Cheat.
They cheated on the test by sharing answers.
Chemistry. Chemistry. Chemistry.
In chemistry class, the professor taught us about chemical reactions.
Chest. Chest. Chest.
The water in the lake was as high as my chest.
Chief. Chief. Chief.
The chief led the people through the mountains.
Citizen. Citizen. Citizen.
Carlos was born in Spain. He is a Spanish citizen.
Classic. Classic. Classic.
The athlete made a classic mistake. He started running too soon.
Colleague. Colleague. Colleague.
My colleague helped me finish the job.
Colony. Colony. Colony.
The USA was at one time a colony of Great Britain.
Command. Command. Command.
The general commanded his army to attack.
Commit. Commit. Commit.
Seth wanted to go home, but he had committed to finishing the job.
Committee. Committee. Committee.
The school's committee agreed on a new dress code for students.
Commute. Commute. Commute.
I usually commute to work on the train.
Compose. Compose. Compose.
Tanya composed her report using many sources of information.
Concentrate. Concentrate. Concentrate.
I could not concentrate on my homework because the room was so loud.
Conclude. Conclude. Conclude.
I saw crumbs on my dog's face, so I concluded that he ate my cookie.
Confidence. Confidence. Confidence.
I have confidence that I did well on the test.
Confident. Confident. Confident.
She was confident she could climb the mountain due to her training.
Confirm. Confirm. Confirm.
Winning the game confirmed that James was a good player.
Congratulate. Congratulate. Congratulate.
Bill and Angela congratulated each other on a job well done.
Consequence. Consequence. Consequence.
As a consequence of missing my bus, I had to find another way to work.
Considerable. Considerable. Considerable.
They paid a considerable amount of money for that car.
Consist. Consist. Consist.
Today's choices for lunch consisted of pizza, hamburgers, and hot dogs.
Consult. Consult. Consult.
I will consult my accountant to find a way to pay for my bills.
Contract. Contract. Contract.
The woman signed a contract when she bought the house.
Convert. Convert. Convert.
The man converted his messy field into a garden of flowers.
Convey. Convey. Convey.
That picture of a crying child conveys a feeling of sadness.
Convince. Convince. Convince.
She convinced me to buy the house.
Cooperate. Cooperate. Cooperate.
The students cooperated to clean up the classroom.
Costume. Costume. Costume.
The woman wore a mask with her costume.
Council. Council. Council.
The council met to discuss the new laws for the city.
Council. Council. Council.
The teacher counseled the girl about her troubles.
Crew. Crew. Crew.
My father has a crew. They help him build houses.
Criticize. Criticize. Criticize.
He criticized his wife for spending too much money.
Curious. Curious. Curious.
I opened up the clock because I was curious about how it worked.
Debate. Debate. Debate.
The husband and wife debated over which TV to buy.
Debt. Debt. Debt.
I have not paid my gas bill. I owe a debt to the gas company.
Declare. Declare. Declare.
I declared my love for him.
Decrease. Decrease. Decrease.
Hiring more police officers has decreased crime in the city.
Defend. Defend. Defend.
The soldiers defended the town from the invaders.
Definite. Definite. Definite.
There is a definite connection between hard work and success.
Delay. Delay. Delay.
I was delayed at the airport for over 2 hours.
Delight. Delight. Delight.
He felt such delight after getting a promotion at work.
Deny. Deny. Deny.
The boy denied that he broke the window.
Depart. Depart. Depart.
The plane departed for Italy at 3 o'clock this afternoon.
Depress. Depress. Depress.
The bad news from work depressed the man.
Desire. Desire. Desire.
My sister desires a big house and lots of money.
Despite. Despite. Despite.
We still played the game despite the cold weather.
Destination. Destination. Destination.
The destination of this plane is Munich, Germany.
Destruction. Destruction. Destruction.
After the big fire, there was much destruction in the city.
Detect. Detect. Detect.
The boy ran to the kitchen when he detected the smell of cookies.
devote, devote, devote,
She devotes 2 hours a day to playing the piano.
diary, diary, diary,
I do not let anybody read my diary.
dictate, dictate, dictate,
He dictated his speech so his secretary could write it down.
differ, differ, differ,
I differ from my brother. He is short, while I am tall.
dig, dig, dig,
My dog digs in the yard so he can hide his bones.
dine, dine, dine,
The young couple dined at their home.
dinosaur, dinosaur, dinosaur,
I like to see the dinosaur bones at the museum.
disadvantage, disadvantage, disadvantage,
Mike had a disadvantage in the race since he hurt his knee.
disappoint, disappoint, disappoint,
I do not want to disappoint my family, so I try to do well at school.
disaster, disaster, disaster,
When the car crashed, it was a disaster.
disorder, disorder, disorder,
The teacher's desk had many papers in disorder.
disturb, disturb, disturb,
The loud noise disturbed me while I was working.
dive, dive, dive,
I will dive into the lake once we get there.
division, division, division,
The chart had 6 divisions which all had different colors.
document, document, document,
He was given an official document proving he was a citizen.
donate, donate, donate,
We donate money to Christmas charities every year.
dormitory, dormitory, dormitory,
I will move into the dormitory at the beginning of the school year.
double, double, double,
I paid almost double the amount for that shirt.
duty, duty, duty,
It is parents' duty to take care of their children.
eager, eager, eager,
The man was eager to talk about the good news.
edge, edge, edge,
He ran to the edge of the cliff.
element, element, element,
Tackling an opponent is Johnny's favorite element of American football.
elementary, elementary, elementary,
Children go to elementary school before high school.
elevate, elevate, elevate,
The man elevated the picture so he could see it better.
emergency, emergency, emergency,
There is a huge fire in my house. This is an emergency.
emphasize, emphasize, emphasize,
She emphasized the key points by circling them in red ink.
enable, enable, enable,
Having the key enabled us to open the door.
enemy, enemy, enemy,
The enemy prepared to attack the kingdom.
Enormous. Enormous. Enormous.
My dog looks enormous next to yours.
Ensure. Ensure. Ensure.
Eating good food ensures that we stay healthy.
Entrance. Entrance. Entrance.
The gate was locked, so Bill had to find a different entrance.
Estimate. Estimate. Estimate.
The boy estimated that he was 1 meter tall.
Exchange. Exchange. Exchange.
I exchanged my foreign money for American dollars.
Exclaim. Exclaim. Exclaim.
Look at her dress, Sarah exclaimed.
Exhaust. Exhaust. Exhaust.
John exhausted himself by swimming all day.
Exhibit. Exhibit. Exhibit.
There was an animal exhibit at the fair.
Expense. Expense. Expense.
She wrote down all the expenses for her trip.
Explosion. Explosion. Explosion.
A nuclear explosion can cause great damage.
Extend. Extend. Extend.
The boy extended his hand to catch the ball.
Extraordinary. Extraordinary. Extraordinary.
The fireman who rescued the girl was extraordinary.
Factual. Factual. Factual.
John learns about history from factual books.
Failure. Failure. Failure.
My cooking ended in failure because I burned the food.
Faith. Faith. Faith.
The sick girl had faith in doctors. She knew they would make her better.
Fame. Fame. Fame.
He had fame and fortune, but he was not happy.
Fascinate. Fascinate. Fascinate.
The kitten was fascinated by the ball of yarn.
Fault. Fault. Fault.
It is my fault that the cat ran away. I left the door open.
Favor. Favor. Favor.
Can you do me a favor and turn off the lights?
Feature. Feature. Feature.
The cell phone has many features.
Fee. Fee. Fee.
I had to pay an hourly fee to speak with my lawyer.
Feed. Feed. Feed.
Mother feeds my baby brother every day.
Fever. Fever. Fever.
Lydia had a high fever, so she didn't go to school.
Flavor. Flavor. Flavor.
The flavor of the ice cream was very good.
Flu. Flu. Flu.
Since he had the flu, he felt miserable.
Fog. Fog. Fog.
I did not want to drive in the thick fog.
Fool. Fool. Fool.
The girl was a fool for playing too close to the water.
Forbid. Forbid. Forbid.
My father forbids watching TV while we're eating dinner.
Force, force, force.
He used all his force to try and open the door.
Forecast, forecast, forecast.
The forecast says that it will rain all week.
Forever, forever, forever.
The young couple promised that they would love each other forever.
Formal, formal, formal.
It was a formal dinner, so we wore our best clothes.
Fortunate, fortunate, fortunate.
I was fortunate to get a seat.
Fortune, fortune, fortune.
I have good fortune when I play cards.
Forward, forward, forward.
When he saw his mother, the baby crawled forward to her.
Foundation, foundation, foundation.
The foundation raised money to give scholarships to students.
Frame, frame, frame.
I have to get a frame for my friend's picture.
Frank, frank, frank.
The teacher had a frank discussion with her students.
Freeze, freeze, freeze.
If you don't wear your coat in winter, you will freeze.
Frequently, frequently, frequently.
We meet frequently, either at the beginning or ending of the week.
Fright, fright, fright.
She was filled with fright.
Fund, fund, fund.
We all put money into our club's fund.
Funeral, funeral, funeral.
They had a funeral for the soldier who died during the war.
Further, further, further.
The escalator is further along than I thought.
Gain, gain, gain.
I gained some weight over the summer.
Generation, generation, generation.
My grandparents are from a different generation than me.
Generous, generous, generous.
The generous man donated several new computers to our school.
Genius, genius, genius.
Since she was a genius, she easily passed all of her school exams.
Gentle, gentle, gentle.
He is very gentle with the baby.
Geography, geography, geography.
I had to draw a map for geography class.
Gesture, gesture, gesture.
My teacher makes a lot of gestures when she speaks.
Giant, giant, giant.
The giant truck got in my way.
Govern, govern, govern.
The United States is governed from the White House.
Gradual, gradual, gradual.
Children learn to read at a gradual pace. They do not learn right away.
Grain, grain, grain.
The farmer planted 2 fields of grain this year.
Greenhouse, greenhouse, greenhouse.
We have a small greenhouse in our backyard where we grow plants.
Greet. Greet. Greet.
When my friend came over, I greeted him at the door.
Guarantee. Guarantee. Guarantee.
I guarantee that the sun will come up in the morning.
Guard. Guard. Guard.
The police officer will guard us from any harm.
Guy. Guy. Guy.
The guy at the flower shop was really helpful today.
Handle. Handle. Handle.
The pot is very hot, so pick it up by the handle.
Hardly. Hardly. Hardly.
I hardly saw the concert since I had to leave early.
Heaven. Heaven. Heaven.
When I die, I hope that I go to heaven.
Height. Height. Height.
My height is 168 centimeters.
Hidden. Hidden. Hidden.
The hidden camera recorded everything in the parking lot.
Hike. Hike. Hike.
I always bring plenty of equipment with me when I hike.
Honor. Honor. Honor.
I honor my science teacher by working hard in class.
Household. Household. Household.
Our household is made up of my father, my mother, and me.
However. However. However.
She is a great cook. However, she never had professional lessons.
Huge. Huge. Huge.
At work, my father drives a huge truck.
Hunt. Hunt. Hunt.
Long ago, people hunted with bows and arrows.
Ignore. Ignore. Ignore.
I ignored the message he was making and kept studying.
Illustrate. Illustrate. Illustrate.
The executive illustrated the decreasing profits of the company.
Immediate. Immediate. Immediate.
An immediate response came from the pizza place.
Immigrant. Immigrant. Immigrant.
My parents were immigrants. They came from Poland.
Impress. Impress. Impress.
He was able to impress the girls with his new dance.
Impression. Impression. Impression.
Most people's first impression of Dr. Gianni is that he is mean.
Income. Income. Income.
Her company pays her a fairly good income.
Increase. Increase. Increase.
They've increased the price of gas by 15 cents.
Incredible. Incredible. Incredible.
I have an incredible story to tell you about my vacation.
Indeed. Indeed. Indeed.
The birthday party was indeed fun last night.
Ingredient. Ingredient. Ingredient.
The main ingredients in cake are eggs, sugar, and flour.
Initial. Initial. Initial.
The initial step when writing a paper is to find a good topic.
injustice, injustice, injustice,
Putting an innocent person in jail is an act of injustice.
insert, insert, insert,
The mailman inserted the letter into the mailbox.
insist, insist, insist,
I insist that you try some of these cookies.
instance, instance, instance,
I have never experienced an instance of hate. Have you?
instant, instant, instant,
A microwave oven cooks food in an instant.
instead, instead, instead,
He ate the carrot instead of the ice cream.
intend, intend, intend,
I intend to finish college in 3 years.
intense, intense, intense,
The skunk made an intense odor that filled the air.
intent, intent, intent,
Her intent is to visit Italy next summer.
interfere, interfere, interfere,
My little sister always interferes when I'm trying to study.
interpret, interpret, interpret,
The woman interpreted what her coworker was trying to say.
interrupt, interrupt, interrupt,
My mother interrupted me when I was trying to listen to music.
invent, invent, invent,
My grandfather has invented some interesting things.
investigate, investigate, investigate,
The detective went to investigate the crime.
involve, involve, involve,
The whole family was involved in playing the game.
issue, issue, issue,
The men spoke about issues that were important to the people.
jewelry, jewelry, jewelry,
The woman looked beautiful with her nice dress and jewelry.
joy, joy, joy,
I love baseball. I feel joy when I play.
judgment, judgment, judgment,
It's good judgment to recycle your aluminum cans.
junior, junior, junior,
When she started at the company, she was only a junior manager.
kindly, kindly, kindly,
The stranger kindly cared for the hurt man.
label, label, label,
The label on the back of your shirt will tell you what size it is.
labor, labor, labor,
Building the house took a lot of labor.
land, land, land,
The parachutist landed safely on the ground.
landscape, landscape, landscape,
The landscape of the country is very green.
last, last, last,
The football match lasted for nearly 2 hours.
laughter, laughter, laughter,
Susan's joke made her classmates burst into laughter.
layer, layer, layer,
There was a layer of snow on the tops of the houses this morning.
legend, legend, legend,
There is a well-known legend about a king and his queen.
lend, lend, lend,
My sister lost her pen, so I will lend her mine.
length, length, length,
The length of the floor is 3 meters.
lift, lift, lift,
The man tried to lift the box.
lightly, lightly, lightly,
Draw lightly so you do not tear your paper.
likeness, likeness, likeness,
Michelle bears a strong likeness to her older sister Kate.
load, load, load,
The man loaded the boxes into a truck.
log, log, log,
The fire was too small, so we added another log to it.
lovely, lovely, lovely,
The trees look lovely in the fall.
lower, lower, lower,
The chart shows how his production has lowered over the year.
lung, lung, lung,
Having strong lungs is necessary for a healthy life.
mad, mad, mad,
Mother got mad when I didn't listen to her.
magical, magical, magical,
The fireworks made the night sky look so magical.
maintain, maintain, maintain,
The balls maintain constant movement.
manage, manage, manage,
I had to manage the meeting myself.
marathon, marathon, marathon,
I ran a marathon and now my legs are tired.
mechanic, mechanic, mechanic,
We took the car to the mechanic to be fixed.
mention, mention, mention,
The doctors mentioned the problems that the patient was having.
mess, mess, mess,
Heather's room was a complete mess.
metal, metal, metal,
Steel is a common metal that is used to build buildings.
meteor, meteor, meteor,
We saw a meteor in the sky last night.
military, military, military,
I joined the military after I finished high school.
mission, mission, mission,
The woman's mission was to help sick people.
monitor, monitor, monitor,
The teacher monitors the students when they take tests.
monk, monk, monk,
The monks knew a lot about religion.
monster, monster, monster,
The monster scared everyone in the village.
mood, mood, mood,
I'm in a good mood because I did well on my math test.
moreover, moreover, Moreover.
It's cold outside. Moreover, the wind is very strong.
Motion. Motion. Motion.
The police officer made a motion with his hand.
Motive. Motive. Motive.
His motive for studying so hard is to get into a good college.
Mud. Mud. Mud.
My brother played rugby in the mud. Now he's dirty.
Narrow. Narrow. Narrow.
The bridge is too narrow for a car to drive over.
Neither. Neither. Neither.
Neither the pass on the left nor the pass on the right will lead us home.
Nest. Nest. Nest.
The bird laid her eggs in the nest that she made.
Nevertheless. Nevertheless. Nevertheless.
He is usually friendly. Nevertheless, he wasn't this afternoon.
Northern. Northern. Northern.
It is much colder in northern countries than it is here.
Obey. Obey. Obey.
My little sister did not obey my mother. Now she is in trouble.
Observe. Observe. Observe.
Ryan observed the sun rising over the mountains.
Obvious. Obvious. Obvious.
It was obvious that he was tired. He kept falling asleep.
Occupation. Occupation. Occupation.
My father's occupation is a dentist.
Occur. Occur. Occur.
When did the thunderstorm occur?
Odd. Odd. Odd.
Her cat is odd. It walks on 2 feet.
Oppose. Oppose. Oppose.
I want to be a police officer because I oppose crime.
Origin. Origin. Origin.
The origin of the honey that we eat is from a beehive.
Otherwise. Otherwise. Otherwise.
It's good to stay active, otherwise you'll gain weight.
Ought. Ought. Ought.
I ought to take my library books back.
Outline. Outline. Outline.
Before I wrote my essay, I made an outline.
Overseas. Overseas. Overseas.
John often goes overseas for vacations.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
I owed him $20, so I paid him back.
Pace. Pace. Pace.
I ran the race at a slower pace than my friend.
Palace. Palace. Palace.
The king and queen live in a beautiful palace.
Pale. Pale. Pale.
The girl's skin was very pale.
Passive. Passive. Passive.
Marcy is so passive that she never solves her own problems.
Path. Path. Path.
We followed a path through the woods.
Pause. Pause. Pause.
Since she was so hungry, she paused to make a snack.
Peak, peak, peak.
There is snow on the peaks of those mountains.
Perhaps, perhaps, perhaps.
Perhaps I will eat an apple for lunch.
Permit, permit, permit.
I was sick, so my mother permitted me to stay home from school.
Perspective, perspective, perspective.
The man's speech gave me a new perspective on our country.
Persuade, persuade, persuade.
The children persuaded their parents to buy them gifts.
Physics, physics, physics.
In physics class, we used Newton's cradle to learn about energy.
Pleased, pleased, pleased.
She was pleased with the phone call she received.
Plenty, plenty, plenty.
The school had plenty of books for the students to read.
Policy, policy, policy.
He told us that his policy was to put customers first.
Polite, polite, polite.
The boy was very polite. He behaved very thoughtfully.
Populate, populate, populate.
Billions of people populate the earth.
Portion, portion, portion.
I only ate a small portion of the pizza.
Possess, possess, possess.
My uncle possesses 3 sheep, a chicken, a cow, and a dog.
Potential, potential, potential.
I've thought of some potential problems with your idea.
Pound, pound, pound.
He pounded the nail with the hammer.
Poverty, poverty, poverty.
Poverty is a problem in many countries around the world.
Praise, praise, praise.
The coach praised both athletes after a good practice.
Pressure, pressure, pressure.
They put pressure on him to change his mind.
Pretend, pretend, pretend.
The boy liked to pretend he was a king.
Prevent, prevent, prevent.
The handcuffs prevented me from moving my hands.
Pride, pride, pride.
I take pride in getting good grades.
Priest, priest, priest.
The priest taught us about God.
Prime, prime, prime.
Dirty air is a prime cause of illness.
Principal, principal, principal.
My school's principal can be very strict with the rules.
Probable, probable, probable.
It is probable that you will get a good grade if you study for the test.
Proceed, proceed, proceed.
My son and I proceeded to the beach so we could go fishing.
Profession, profession, profession.
He loved sailing, so he chose to work on ships as a profession.
proof, proof, proof,
They used his fingerprint as proof for the crime he committed.
proper, proper, proper,
It is not proper to throw your garbage on the road.
protest, protest, protest,
The people protested the decision of the president.
puddle, puddle, puddle,
When the ice melted, it formed a puddle.
purchase, purchase, purchase,
I recently purchased a new car.
pure, pure, pure,
The rose was pure. It had no dirt or imperfections.
purpose, purpose, purpose,
The purpose of exercising is to get into shape.
puzzle, puzzle, puzzle,
The question was a puzzle to him.
quantity, quantity, quantity,
I have a small quantity of milk in my glass.
quit, quit, quit,
I quit running because I got tired.
rank, rank, rank,
The man got to the rank of captain in the Navy.
rapidly, rapidly, rapidly,
The train moved rapidly on the tracks.
rare, rare, rare,
It is rare for him to miss his flight.
rather, rather, rather,
I would rather have the red one than the blue one.
rational, rational, rational,
It is hard to think in a rational way when you are scared.
reception, reception, reception,
We all danced and had a good time at the wedding reception.
recognition, recognition, recognition,
The hero got recognition for his brave deed.
recognize, recognize, recognize,
I recognized an old friend from many years ago.
recover, recover, recover,
I hope the city will recover soon after the flood.
reflect, reflect, reflect,
Her face was reflected on the smooth glass.
refrigerate, refrigerate, refrigerate,
Grocery stores refrigerate fruit to make it last long.
refuse, refuse, refuse,
The dog refused to play with the cat.
regard, regard, regard,
The boy regarded the girl as a good friend.
reject, reject, reject,
The girl rejected the broken cup.
relative, relative, relative,
My relatives came by to see the new baby.
release, release, release,
She released the bird from her hands.
relieve, relieve, relieve,
The medicine relieved the sick boy.
rely, rely, rely,
The boy relied on his older brother to help him.
remain, Remain. Remain.
My sister had to remain home since she was sick.
Remark. Remark. Remark.
The teacher remarked on how quickly the students were learning.
Remind. Remind. Remind.
Nick's dad reminded him to do his homework.
Remote. Remote. Remote.
It took many days to get to the remote island.
Rent. Rent. Rent.
To live in this house, I have to pay rent at the start of each month.
Represent. Represent. Represent.
My lawyer will represent me in court.
Reputation. Reputation. Reputation.
The doctor had a reputation for helping people.
Request. Request. Request.
The little girl requested a special gift from Santa Claus.
Require. Require. Require.
We require teachers to have a university degree.
Reside. Reside. Reside.
My brother and his family reside in a lovely house on the beach.
Resist. Resist. Resist.
He resisted the treatment at the hospital.
Resort. Resort. Resort.
I hope they don't resort to violence to end the argument.
Responsible. Responsible. Responsible.
I try to be responsible and save money.
Retire. Retire. Retire.
My father is 65 years old. He is about to retire from work.
Reveal. Reveal. Reveal.
I will reveal where I hid the candy bar.
Rid. Rid. Rid.
We rid our home of mice by using traps.
Rough. Rough. Rough.
The rough ground hurt my feet.
Root. Root. Root.
I saw many new houses along the route to the city.
Row. Row. Row.
James put all of his toy soldiers into neat rows.
Royal. Royal. Royal.
The king sat upon the royal throne.
Ruins. Ruins. Ruins.
I visited some interesting ruins in Greece.
Satisfy. Satisfy. Satisfy.
It will satisfy my teacher if I finish all my homework.
Scan. Scan. Scan.
You must scan each person closely.
Scene. Scene. Scene.
A movie is made up of many short pieces or scenes.
Scholar. Scholar. Scholar.
The scholar knew much about art history.
Scream. Scream. Scream.
The girl saw a spider and screamed.
Sculpture. Sculpture. Sculpture.
We saw an old sculpture of Buddha at the museum.
secretary, secretary, secretary,
Rebecca asked her secretary to type a report.
secure, secure, secure,
I was able to secure a good grade on my test after weeks of studying.
seek, seek, seek,
If I have a problem, I seek my sister's advice.
senior, senior, senior,
Because he got his job first, Bob is the senior chef.
sensitive, sensitive, sensitive,
My teeth are sensitive to cold things.
severe, severe, severe,
After hitting his hand with the hammer, Sam was in severe pain.
shade, shade, shade,
It was hot outside, so the boy sat in the shade of a tree.
shadow, shadow, shadow,
The man's shadow was taller than he was.
shake, shake, shake,
When people shake hands, it usually means they agree.
sheet, sheet, sheet,
I only needed a single sheet of paper to do my homework.
shelf, shelf, shelf,
I keep my clothes on a shelf in my closet.
shift, shift, shift,
He shifted to the other side of the table to eat his breakfast.
shine, shine, shine,
The candles are shining in the dark room.
shock, shock, shock,
The man was shocked by the news.
shoot, shoot, shoot,
The hunter raised his gun to shoot at the target.
shout, shout, shout,
My boss shouted at me because I was late for work.
shy, shy, shy,
The girl was too shy to try out for the play.
signal, signal, signal,
The coach blew his whistle as a signal to begin the game.
significant, significant, significant,
I read many significant novels as a literature major in university.
silence, silence, silence,
The man asked for silence while he worked on the problem.
silent, silent, silent,
Since no one was home, the house was silent.
silly, silly, silly,
I made a silly mistake of dropping Mom's vase.
sincere, sincere, sincere,
He sounded sincere when he apologized to me.
sink, sink, sink,
The boat had a hole in it, and it sank into the ocean.
situated, situated, situated,
The whiteboard is situated between the two men.
slave, slave, slave,
The slave worked very hard all day long.
smooth, smooth, smooth,
The baby's skin felt very smooth.
Society. Society. Society.
Society expects people to be good and honest.
Soil. Soil. Soil.
The boy planted flowers in the soil and watered them every day.
Somehow. Somehow. Somehow.
He somehow had to find a way to reach the life preserver.
Southern. Southern. Southern.
Daegu is located in the southern part of the Korean peninsula.
Speech. Speech. Speech.
She gave a speech to the class.
Spill. Spill. Spill.
I spilled the coffee on the table.
Spin. Spin. Spin.
The boy kept spinning until he fell down.
Spite. Spite. Spite.
He snuck into his sister's room and stole her bag out of spite.
Spread. Spread. Spread.
I like to spread butter on my toast.
Stare. Stare. Stare.
You can take the stairs to the second floor.
Stare. Stare. Stare.
The young couple stared into each other's eyes.
Statistic. Statistic. Statistic.
The statistic showed that we did just as well this year as last year.
Statue. Statue. Statue.
I saw a beautiful statue of a lion today.
Steady. Steady. Steady.
The problem was hard, but she remained steady and solved it.
Steam. Steam. Steam.
We could see the steam rise from the boiling water.
Strange. Strange. Strange.
Joe had a strange look on his face after he saw what happened.
Stream. Stream. Stream.
The boy caught a fish in the stream.
Strength. Strength. Strength.
Exercising will increase your strength and give you more power.
Strike. Strike. Strike.
She struck the other girl in the face.
Stroll. Stroll. Stroll.
My dog and I strolled through the park today.
Structure. Structure. Structure.
They just built a beautiful new structure downtown.
Struggle. Struggle. Struggle.
The kids struggled with each other for the toy.
Stupid. Stupid. Stupid.
He said something stupid that made everyone angry at him.
Submit. Submit. Submit.
She submitted to her mother's wishes and did her homework.
Succeed. Succeed. Succeed.
He will continue to work on the robot until he succeeds.
Sue. Sue. Sue.
I sued the company after I slipped on a banana peel in their hallway.
Suffer. suffer, suffer,
Her headache made her suffer all day.
super, super, super,
My dad said I did a super job cleaning the house.
superior, superior, superior,
I think cooking outdoors is superior to cooking indoors.
supplement, supplement, supplement,
He supplements his diet with fresh fruits.
suppose, suppose, suppose,
I suppose I should go home now.
surface, surface, surface,
The surface of the moon is very rough.
surround, surround, surround,
We surrounded the suspect on all four sides.
survive, survive, survive,
My dog survived her fall into the water.
suspect, suspect, suspect,
I suspect that those kids stole the money.
sword, sword, sword,
They used to use swords in battles in ancient times.
tail, tail, tail,
She told her two friends about the wild tale of her day.
talent, talent, talent,
Maria has a talent for playing the piano.
temple, temple, temple,
The people visited the temple to pray.
terrible, terrible, terrible,
The way he treated his classmate was terrible.
terror, terror, terror,
I felt a sense of terror when the tiger chased me.
therefore, therefore, therefore,
He is fat, therefore he will go on a diet.
thesis, thesis, thesis,
She did not support her thesis very well.
thick, thick, thick,
The fog was so thick that I couldn't see through it.
though, though, though,
Though he was overweight, he liked to be active.
threat, threat, threat,
Due to the dark clouds, there was a threat of a bad storm.
throw, throw, throw,
The pitcher can throw the baseball very fast.
thus, thus, thus,
The sun was shining. Thus I wore my sunglasses.
tiny, tiny, tiny,
A baby's hand is tiny.
tone, tone, tone,
My father's tone told me I had broken the rule.
toward, toward, toward,
Santa walked toward my house with a special tree.
trap, trap, trap,
We trapped butterflies in a net.
trial, trial, trial,
He went on trial for robbing the bank.
tribe, tribe, tribe,
There's a small tribe of people who live in the mountains of Spain.
Trust, trust, trust.
I trust my friends. They don't tell my secrets to other people.
Tutor, tutor, tutor.
My sister is bad at math, so my mother hired a tutor to help her.
Twist, twist, twist.
She twisted the spaghetti around her fork.
Uniform, uniform, uniform.
All the members of our marching band wear matching uniforms.
Unique, unique, unique.
Her dog is unique. I've never seen one quite like it.
Unite, unite, unite.
If we unite, we can finish our project faster.
Unless, unless, unless.
Unless you clean your room, you cannot play with your friends.
Upper, upper, upper.
A home's attic is at the upper part of the structure.
Valley, valley, valley.
We looked at the valley below from the top of the mountain.
Value, value, value.
Matthew found a treasure of very high value.
Various, various, various.
She owned shoes of various styles.
Victim, victim, victim.
I was a victim of a robbery.
Violent, violent, violent.
The man was put into jail because he was violent.
Visible, visible, visible.
The moon and stars were visible in the night sky.
Vision, vision, vision.
The eye doctor tested my vision.
Volcano, volcano, volcano.
When the volcano erupted, smoke and heat filled the air.
Waste, waste, waste.
Turn off the water so you don't waste it.
Wealth, wealth, wealth.
One of the most important things to some people is wealth.
Weapon, weapon, weapon.
Swords have been used as weapons for thousands of years.
Weed, weed, weed.
The yard of the house was full of ugly weeds.
Wet, wet, wet.
Since my dog was wet, he tried to shake all the water off his body.
Weather, weather, weather.
I could not decide whether to go left or right.
Whole, whole, whole.
I ate the whole pie. We don't have any more.
Wide, wide, wide.
The door was as wide as my arms.
Wing, wing, wing.
The bird used its wings to fly across the water.
Within, within, within.
Within the box, there was a pizza.
Wonder, wonder, Wonder.
The young mother wondered if she'd have a boy or a girl.
Worth. Worth. Worth.
Our house is worth a lot of money.
Wrap. Wrap. Wrap.
I wrapped his gift and put a bow on it.
Youth. Youth. Youth.
My mother wanted to be a nurse in her youth.